this is true. We love to do the things that we're not supposed to do. We don't need robbing, stealing, or mugging. In fact, don't take it seriously. We're only bugging.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Early Evening Sports Buffet with the Ginch. Taste the victory, savor the night. A little just bugging. Way back in the day. I think I was still in high school when this particular song came out. So much to discuss in the world of sports. Thanks for joining. Thank you, gentlemen. Again, welcome to another edition of the show. So we last left off the NBA. Obviously, Indiana won game one. And then last night, the Thunder get a much-needed win. They beat the Pacers 123 to 107. Good game. If we go to the box score, again, Indiana plays as a unit. They know what they are. All starters scored in double digits. TJ McConnell and Benedict Mathurin each were in double figures. So they had 7 players in double figures in scoring. Halliburton had 17. Miles Turner had 16. Siakam had 15. Naismith had 14, and Nembhard had 11. Oklahoma City. SGA with 34 points, doing his thing. Chet Holmgren stepping up to the plate. He scored 15. Jalen Williams, 19. Lugan Stort and Cason Wallace, non-factors. But Alex Caruso off the bench had 20, and Aaron Wiggins had 18 off the bench. Excuse me, this weather is killing me. Can't make up its mind. If we go to the team stats, as I say often on this show, if you win the rebounding battle and you win the turnover battle, you more than likely will win the game. This particular instance, Oklahoma City did win the rebound battle, unlike game one, 43-35. And they won the turnover battle, not by much, by 1. Oklahoma City's largest lead was 23. Both teams made 14 threes. And Oklahoma City went to the line 10 more times than did the Pacers. Sorry, they made 10 more. They went to the line 7 more times. And again, I will, at points in the paint, Oklahoma City 42, the Pacers 20 or 34. Game one, it was reversed. And I think that's the way the series will be. You have to win the rebounding edge. You have to win the turnover battle because you limit the other opponent's opportunities. And as a former 6-foot center in high school, I say it all the time. When you limit the other team, you limit their opportunities. It's more opportunities for you. And you have to take advantage of them. This time, Oklahoma City did. Game 3 is on Wednesday. Again, I am not a big proponent of having like 2 games in between or 2 days in between games. Seems a little idiotic to me, but what do I know? So it'll switch to Indiana. I will be picking Oklahoma City to win game 3. You heard it here first. Oklahoma City's figured something out. They're going to continue to do what they do, obviously. Oklahoma City's favored by 5.5, and Indiana's at home. Somebody knows something. The over-under is 228.5. Bet at your own risk. If you want to go to the game there at Gamebridge Fieldhouse, you can go for $455. It says as low as $455. Switch to the NHL. Panthers won game 2. It was a gritty game, tough game, just like game 1 was. Panthers had the better of it. Game 3, tonight at 8 o'clock, over there on TNT, True TV, and Max. This is in Florida there at Amaranth Bank Arena. Florida is the favorite. I think the Panthers will win this one. I'm looking at a 3-2 score. Panthers just, they forecheck you to death. They play solid defense. Although, I mean, the last couple games, it's sort of been Edmonton's kind of game. But the Panthers found a way in game 2. But again, it's the Stanley Cup Finals. Both teams, I think, should empty the tank. You hear it all the time in hockey. Just, throw the puck on net. Just constantly throw the puck on net. Especially something's going to happen. But I've got the Panthers tonight. I'm going 3-2. Thursday will be game 4. I will pick Edmonton to win game 4. Forward to get into other stuff. Some news and notes are the headlines from today. The Boston Red Sox have recalled top prospect Roman Anthony up. He will start in right field and bat 5th tonight. See if he can add some sort of spark. Again, I don't follow baseball as much as I used to. There's too many bullshit rules that they have. There's too much. Pitchers only pitch 5 innings. Your starting pitcher, which I think is bullshit. Analytics and all this other shit have destroyed the game. I don't follow it as much as I should. Florida A&M University's AD Angela Suggs is accused of stealing over $25,000 at her ex-job. It's reported by the Associated Press out of Tallahassee, Florida. She was arrested Monday on fraud and theft charges for allegedly using a corporate credit card for personal use, totaling more than $24,000 at her former job. Turned herself in and was booked at the Leon County Jail. She was later released on $13,500 bond. She was charged with 2 felonies, grand theft and scheme to defraud. She was also charged with 4 misdemeanor counts of false claims on travel vouchers. Naughty. Yeah, you'll see more of this, I'm sure. The Green Bay Packers, some NFL news. They have cut Jair Alexander after 7 seasons there. They were in a contract dispute. Couldn't find him on the ground, I guess. You go back to last year, he only appeared in 7 games. And this is the business end of it that you don't like to see sometimes, but The Colts have revealed their ownership transition to Jim Irsay's daughters. Reported by Stephen Holder, Espin. The Colts announced on Monday their ownership reorganization in the wake of Jim Irsay's death last month. Irsay's three daughters have assumed co-ownership of the team following his wishes, with each getting respective roles within the franchise. Eldest daughter, Carly Irsay Gordon, will assume the role of owner and CEO and has been designated principal owner. NFL bylaws require that teams designate a single principal owner, even in scenarios where franchises are under family control. Casey Foyt will be owner and executive vice president, while younger sister Kaylin Jackson will be owner and chief brand officer. Jackson will also be president of the Indianapolis Colts Foundation. If anybody that watches this show knows that technology loves to bend me over. And okay, here we go. It's not Buffalo. TJ Oshie has announced his retirement from the NHL after 16 seasons. He really didn't have anything left to prove. Good for him. The next chapter of his life. We go to Major League Baseball. Kind of a lighter slate today. Right now, mid-4th, Reds up on the Guardians 3-2. The mid-2nd, Marlins up on the Pirates 1-0. End of the 4th, Cubs, Phillies tied 1 apiece. Bottom of the 2nd, Rays, Red Sox scoreless. Top of the 1st, Braves, Brewers scoreless. Later on, Blue Jays at the Cardinals, Athletics at the Angels, the Dodgers at the Padres, and the Mariners are at the Diamondbacks. Let's go to the standing, shall we, as I do in the beginning of every week. American League East, Yankees still up on top with a 39-25 record. Again, excuse me, this weather. Rays and the Blue Jays are tied for second, 35-30. They're 4.5 back. Red Sox 4, 32-35, 8.5 back. And the Orioles found a groove a little bit. They're 26-38. They're 13 back. In the American League Central, the Detroit Tigers are way on top, 43-24. Minnesota Twins second, 35-30, 7 games back. The Guardians are 34-30, third place, 7.5 back. Kansas City Royals are fourth, 34-32, 8.5 back. And the White Sox in last, 22-44, 20.5 back. In the West, the Houston Astros now up on top, 36-29. Mariners second, 33-31, 2.5 back. Rangers third, 31-35, 5.5 back, as are the Angels, 5.5 back. And in last, the Athletics, 26-41, 11 back. National League East, New York Mets have surged ahead, 42-24. The Phillies, who have shit the bed here the last 10 games, 37-28, they're 4.5 back. The Nats third, 30-35, 11.5 back. Braves have continued to lose ground as they continue to struggle this year. They're 27-37, 14 back. The Marlins last, 24-39, 16.5 back. In the Central, Cubs on top, 40-25. The Cardinals are second, 36-29, 4 back. Brewers third, 35-31, 5.5 back. Reds, 7.5 back, 33-33. And the Pirates, 26-40, 14.5 back. Out in the West, very tight amongst the top 3 teams. Dodgers up on top. Padres, Giants, 1 game back. Diamondbacks are 31-34, 7.5 back. Colorado Rockies 12-53, 26.5 back. We'd like to thank the Rockies for participating in this year's 2025 season. In the American League, if you want to look for the hottest team right now, the last 10 games, the Blue Jays are 8-2 their last 10. Mariners Athletics on the other end, 3-7. In the National League, hottest team right now, the Mets, they're 8-2 their last 10. And the Phillies, like I said, have shit the bed the last 10. They are 1-9 their last 10. College sports, I'm sorry, WNBA. Only one game today. The Valkyries play the Sparks at 10 p.m. Games from yesterday, the Mystics beat the Suns 104-67, and the Lynx remain undefeated. They beat the Wings 81-65, and on Saturday, Valkyries beat the Aces 95-68. Fever beat the Sky 79-52, minus Caitlin Clark, by the way. And the Storm beat the Mercury 89-77. Let's go to the standings. The Lynx and the Liberty remain undefeated. The Dream are third, 5-3. Mercury are fourth at 6-4. The Ace is fifth, 4-3. The Storm are 6, 5-4. The Fever are seventh, 4-4. Eighth, the Mystics 4-6. Ninth, the Valkyries 3-5. Then you have the Sparks at 3-6, the Sky at 2-5, the Connecticut Sun 1-7, and the Dallas Wings struggling at 1-9. College sports, I mentioned last week. Texas wins their first ever national championship in women's softball. Congratulations to them. The Men's College World Series is still going on. Right now in the Durham Super Regional, this is the game 3. Murray State up on Duke 2-1. Yesterday's games, the Fayetteville Super Regional, Arkansas took out Tennessee 11-4. Arkansas won that series 2-0. In the Chapel Hill Super Regional, Arizona beat North Carolina. They're up 2-1. In the Baton Rouge Super Regional, LSU beat West Virginia 12-5. LSU won that series 2-0. The Corvallis Super Regional, Oregon State with a late touchdown beat Florida State 14-10. As game 3, Oregon State wins the series 2-1. Sorry, Arizona won the series against North Carolina 2-1. In the Los Angeles Super Regional, UCLA over Texas San Antonio 7-0. UCLA won that series 2-0. And in the Louisville Super Regional, Louisville took out Miami 3-2. Louisville won that particular series 2-1. For you NASCAR jabones like myself, Denny Hamlin won the race yesterday at Michigan. Kind of a boring race, to be honest with you. Alex Bowman finished 36th, Cole Custer 35th, John Hunter Nemechek 34th, Todd Gilliland 33rd, Ryan Blaney 32nd, Austin Cindric 31st, Michael McDowell 30th, Carson Hocevar 29th, William Byron 28th. Noah Gregson, 27th. Cody Ware, 26th. Riley Herbst, 25th. Ty Dillon, 24th. Chase Briscoe, 23rd. Joey Logano, 22nd. Justin Haley, 21st. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 20th. Austin Dillon, 19th. Shane Van Gisbergen, 18th. AJ Chicken Allmendinger, 17th. Christopher Bell, 16th. 15th was Chase Elliott. 14th was Daniel Suarez. 13th, Tyler Reddick. 12th, Josh Berry. 11th, Eric Jones. 10th, Brad Keselowski. 9th, Ryan Preece. 8th, Kyle Busch. 7th, Zane Smith. 6th, Ross Chastain. Kyle Larson, 5th. Bubba Wallace, 4th. Ty Gibbs, 3rd. Chris Buescher, 2nd. Denny Hamlin. If the series ended today, the regular season, the playoffs would look as such. Kyle Busch would be 16th. Alice Bowman would be 15th. Chris Buescher, 14th. Chase Briscoe, 13th. Bubba Wallace, 12th. Tyler Reddick, 11th. Chase Elliott, 10th. Josh Berry, 9th. Austin Cindric, 8th. Joey Logano, 7th. Ross Chastain, 6th. Ryan Blaney, 5th. William Byron, 4th. Christopher Bell, 3rd. Denny Hamlin, 2nd. And Kyle Larson, numero uno. The U.S. Open out there at Oakmont. Heard the rough is brutal as per usual. To be quite honest with you, I'm sure the favorites will be Scheffler. I wouldn't consider Rory. He's playing like dog ass. Scotty Scheffler is the clear favorite. Just looking at some of the other names. I'll go on a limb. I don't think it'll be Scotty. Although he's probably the smartest golfer in the field. You know what? I'm gonna go Xander Schauffele to win the US Open. I wouldn't put money on it, but I think he will be your US Open champion when all is said and done. Coco Golf went over there in Roland Garros. She won 3 sets, 6-7, 6-2, 6-4. The first American since Serena Williams to win it. Good for her. And if anybody watched the Alcaraz Sinner match, holy crap. Sinner with a 2-set lead. Alcaraz storms back to win the last 3 sets. Unbelievable. Just trying to look at over some of the other news and notes. I think that's going to do it. Just looking to see if there's any other, like, something that came over the ticker. Oh, Aaron Rodgers officially signed his 1-year contract. Don't care less. Do I think it makes him better? No. Do I think that they're going to have to run the ball a lot to keep him safe? Yes. If you ask Aaron Rodgers to scramble outside the pocket, he'll be like a mule on peyote. So Good luck, Pittsburgh Steelers, with that. So I think that's going to do it for today. Again, everything's starting to slow down. You have obviously the NHL winding down, the NBA winding down. NFL will be in full effect in about 6-7 weeks when mini camps start. Not even mini camps, when the summer camps start, heading into the fall. College football is right around the corner. I think we're T minus 75 days and counting, I think. And when all said and done, it'll be Major League Baseball show and the WNBA show and golf show and NASCAR for the rest of the summer. So, with all that being said, again, I close out every show with practice compassion, practice empathy, and passion for what you do. Hug somebody. Might make a difference. Or somebody you love them might not get a second chance. For God's sakes, if you see somebody struggling, inquire about what might be wrong. Ask, because you just might be saving a life. And I will also say, I don't like to get political, but this country right now is in a shitstorm of turmoil. And really, instead of always pointing the fingers, let's need to come together. Seriously. That's all it's been for the last however months. Is everybody's pointing the finger. You're not going to get anywhere if y'all keep pointing the finger at one another and putting one another down and X, Y, and Z. Yeah, President Stupid in office. Just a revenge tour for the next 4 years. It's all it is. But somebody really needs to take the reins and say, enough of the shit. Enough of the bullshit. Both sides of the aisle need to come together in some sort of fashion to get shit done and to stop all this nonsense. Because if you don't, it's just going to continue to get worse. So, with all that said, enjoy the NHL tonight. Enjoy the rest of your night. And Dandy Don, as always, take us out.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.